Hey, hello everybody. Steve Lynch here. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but progressives have actually done it. They have delegitimized and annulled Obama's 8 years as president of the United States. Never thought it would be the progressives that would have done this. And let me explain to you why I say this and how I can prove it. Anybody that's living in this country or around the world, I got friends in Canada that can't believe what's going on here with what's going on with this big movement funded by George Soros for anybody that has any just brain capacity that is doing any bit of research behind Black Lives Matter, this whole anti-Trump movement. All this stuff is, these people are being used as pawns by globalist elite that could care less about them and only care about what they can get from them. Very simple, people. It's as clear as the day is long. That being said, how do I say and why do I say that progressives have been the one that have delegitimized and annulled President Obama's presidency? Well, let's take a look at what they're doing right now. First and foremost, they're railing against the Electoral College, the presidential election, and the popular vote. Well, let's first address something right away. You can't change rules after the game is played. It doesn't work that way. And I get, it's hilarious to listen to all these people. I just watched a clip of Clinton talk about it's an attack on our democracy if a person doesn't accept this election results. And she's behind this too. I mean, Jill Stein, give me a break. But Obama in 2008 did not win the popular vote to win the Democratic nominee and then ultimately become the president of the United States in 2008. See, you can't have your cake and eat it too if you want to have one set of rules to follow. So if you want to do away and change the rules of popular vote, negates the way whether it's the Electoral College or the primaries are set up, it's going to apply across the board. So he's annulled. That means all of his executive orders that have been signed and all of the laws that he signed into place that people who are pro-establishment think that things are moving so great. I would love that. People think that things are so great and everything's moving in the right direction. Gone. It's all gone because of this little tantrum that's being thrown across this nation by people who don't understand how things work. You know, now let's talk about this popular vote thing and fake news and everything else. The popular vote, if you believe that Clinton won the popular vote, you really are much more asleep than you realize. There's not a snowball's chance in hell that woman won the popular vote. And I'll prove it to you without even getting into specifics, but I'll get into both for you. Did you watch the rallies that went on across this nation for Trump versus Clinton? This woman couldn't fill high school auditoriums. Tim Kaine had a rally one time where there was 3 people waiting in line to go see him. But she supposedly got 60-some million people to go vote for her? Give me a break. I mean, common sense. You got to use common sense at some point. Now, let's go beyond just, okay, is there proof there? No, I have no proof over that, but I'm just talking about common sense, which is definitely something that's not so common anymore in our nation or the world. Let's talk about Bev Harris. And if you don't know that name, then you really don't have an understanding of voter fraud and the like. This woman, by the way, is a true liberal, and she's a Democrat. Not liberals as they're defined today, but a true liberal like a Thomas Jefferson liberal, and a Democrat. She exposed the fraud that went on with the Gore Bush, which I agree with. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm an American. I don't know why we get all caught up in these labels. She proved that. This woman flat out said that the voter fraud, and if you go back to election night, just go look do some minimal research. All of the stuff, the votes being switched and flipped and everything else, there wasn't one case where it was being flipped from Clinton to Trump. It was being flipped from Trump to Clinton every time. Beyond that, she flat out said there was anomalies that were going on where districts were voting, all the late votes, they kept polls open later, voting booths open later. They were stuffing the ballots at the end, and 100% of the votes went for Clinton. It's a physical impossibility. These things cannot happen. Beyond that, let's talk about the fact, again, do research through Bev Harris. And by the way, there's not one person watching this video and the person recording this video that is more researched than this woman. She is about as respected as there is when it comes to voter fraud. It has been estimated that somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 million illegal immigrants that are undocumented have voted in this election. Beyond that, there's an estimated of another about 3 to 4 million people that are dead that voted. And I can guarantee you that if not all, a significant portion of those people, probably 90+%, voted for Clinton. So let's say that what is the fake news, and that is the mainstream media, I'll get into that as well, puts out there that whatever it is, she won by 1.5 million votes or whatever it is. And let's say that's even accurate, which it's not, but let's say it's accurate. Take low end 6 million votes, 3 million and 3 million of the illegals and the dead people. Subtract your 1.5, that's 4.5 million that Trump won by. And again, it doesn't matter because electoral college is how the presidential candidate is chosen. But if you want to cry that game, cry wolf with that game, then you're still losing by a lot. Fake news. It is, go watch montages of these people. These are the same people that are telling you that the popular vote was won by Hillary Clinton. Watch them. Go back on election night. You can find them all over YouTube. These people were putting out propaganda for months about how there was no chance. The fact of the matter was, it was such a massive landslide by Trump that even with all of the fraud that was going on and proven by people like Bev Harris for Clinton, they couldn't overcome it. And what they basically have done now is they're pushing this popular vote thing to keep it all drummed up. So these are all facts. This is undisputed stuff, okay? And I could go on, but I'm not. There's plenty of information. This video is already 8 minutes long. And I gotta tell you something right now. You hate Trump, fine. But let me just share a thought with you, a little bit of insight. Take a look around at what is going on. Now, this is not for people that are pro-establishment, meaning that if you think that big government is the answer, and you think the trend that we have been going on in this nation is the right trend, don't even listen to any more of my videos. Just don't even bother. But if you realize that things have been moving in the wrong direction for a long time, and Obama is not the genesis of this. Okay, it's been going on for decades. Look at what is coming up against Trump. And the answer to that is everything. Foreign nations, both parties, globalist funders like George Soros, every part of the establishment is absolutely anti-Trump, which is one of the reasons why that, even though I came on board late, and I explained this in another video of why I did this, with voting for Trump and why I did, this was a huge part of it. I hate the way our government is going. I love our nation, hate our government. I hate the people that run our government. They're crooked. I mean, as crooked as the day is long. So if that doesn't speak volumes to you, then again, you are a pro big government, pro establishment person, and that's, hey, look, just own it. That's all. Just own it. So hopefully this was insightful. My goal, by the way, I want to share with you my goals when I record these videos. I realize that YouTube and Facebook, you don't change people's opinions, or you're not going to change their belief system with a video, but you can open their eyes to something where they do further research. That's my hope and my intention, is that your eyes get open and you want to do further research. And I hope this makes you look into Bev Harris, makes you look into what happened, what's been going on with voter fraud and things like that. Have a great day, and God bless.